this came out last Friday, David, but it really made waves. Farcaster Frames. So talking about Farcast, we're talking about the crypto social network. It's kind of a Twitter type of competitor called Farcaster. And they've rolled out a new feature called Farcaster Frames. William Peaster of Bankless, one of the analysts at Bankless, described it like this. The crypto social scene just got a huge level up. That's because Farcaster just introduced Frames, which can turn any cast, which is Farcaster's equivalent of a tweet, a cast is a tweet, into an interactive app. This new feature offers awesome new possibilities for the Farcaster ecosystem, ranging from in-cast airdrop checkers to one-tap gasless NFT mints. So the idea here, David, is that rather than have just a tweet, which, on Twitter, it's a piece of content, right? It's an image, it's a video, it's some text. You can actually tweet, or as Farcaster calls it, cast, an interactive application inside of the cast itself, if that makes sense. So like some examples of this, literally one of the first apps, I don't know if you ever saw it, like you ever played Doom on a TI-83 calculator? You ever see that?
No, I never, not on a calculator. I would be like 4 or 5 years old sitting on my dad's lap and he would move and I would press the space bar and I would kill the monsters. And my mom did not like that.
Well, like on a PC, right?
On a computer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the kind of the things that is done, like, have you ever seen Doom on like a pregnancy test? Like people love putting Doom. Yeah, you can.
I know the meme of we can put Doom places, but I've not
you
seen
can
it on
put
a
Doom on
pregnancy
every.
test.
I've seen Doom on a pregnancy test, like not in person. All right,
On
I've
the
just
internet,
seen this
on
on
the
the internet. And anyway, so Doom as an early application in a frame, just why? Because you can. But there's some really other cool apps that people have developed. And once again, this functionality just dropped on Friday. All right. And there's already something like 500 different frames that have been developed. Tell us about some of the frames that are possible here, David.
Well, I mean, the first one that everyone should go play is the Doom one, of course. But in addition to that, there's a chess trainer. So you can just play chess inside of a tweet, a Farcaster cast. There's a song drop, which is a music NFT minting frame from Sound XYZ. There's NFT mints, so gasless NFT drops on Farcaster. One of the more creative ones, Netheria, a text-based game where users attempt to conquer a monster. The way that I would explain this is like, if Twitter is Bitcoin, as in all you can do is write text, and that's how Bitcoin is expressed, then Farcaster Frames are like smart contracts on Ethereum, where you can put logic into your tweets, aka your casts. That's how I would explain that very, very simply. And so it's just opening up the world of just like innovation to the Farcaster community, and people are doing cool stuff with it. And this is, I'm just here for this because, let's place complexity on the margins, allow for coders and developers to have clay to work with and see what they come up with. Why didn't Twitter ever do this? I don't know.
Well, they didn't because their model is kind of against it. They've Twitter and all the other social media platforms are now these walled gardens, right? Even Facebook used to be much more innovative with kind of the Facebook API and used to get like games like Farmville. Yeah, now none of that exists, right? So what's really cool about this is all of the permissionless innovation that's been unleashed. And I've been excited about Farcaster for a while, right? Like,
yeah, you've been on there for all month, right?
I've been there for a while, but I started to get really active about 6 weeks ago when it just felt to me like Twitter was just kind of too toxic.
Twitter sucks.
It was just getting like too toxic, right? And so just, algorithm, we've talked about this ad nauseum, right? It very much incentivizes clout chasing, dunking, and Farcaster seemed to me, maybe it's because it's small, a much healthier crypto community. I just loved it. But the thing about Farcaster up to this point, David, and all crypto social that I've used, is it didn't feel significantly differentiated from traditional social media. So you go into Farcaster, it just looks like Twitter. And you're like, all right, so it's a healthier Twitter. Cool. It's not the 10x better thing. David, this is the first time I've actually seen crypto social present potentially a 10x better use case, right? So
and there's actually not, we call it crypto social. It is crypto social, but this is just a social innovation on a crypto adjacent application.
Yeah, crypto adjacent, and also, I mean, they've designed this thing with kind of open borders, so it's completely permissionless. Sriram, whom we've had on the podcast of A16Z, says the Farcaster and Frames energy is how 2005 Web 2.0 web energy felt like. And I kind of remember that in the
He's
internet's
talking
history.
about the open source era of Web 2.0.
Yeah, he's talking about, or the Chris Dixon podcast, when we went from Web 1 to Web 2, and it was no longer just read, it was about write. Like, this kind of feels like that. And for the first time, I saw a glimpse of what could be the way we onboard the masses. Like, oh, cool. Now we have a social primitive that allows us to expose the own verb, right? To use Chris Dixon's framing of it. We could do all sorts of crypto things on top of this. So I'm pretty excited about it, even though it's like early days. It's still just the crypto native community. But I think this has some real potential, and we'll see what's unleashed, what's built on top of Farcaster Frames.
Yeah, I called Farcaster a crypto adjacent application because it just has this very small on-chain footprint, like one user transaction on Farcaster on Optimism per account. But also, these frames can be bridges into crypto use cases. Like, we've already seen like NFT drops and sound mints and NFT mints and all this kind of stuff inside of frames. And so it is a portal to allow for crypto expressivity to come into a Web2 social app. And so it's a little bit just about the culture of Farcaster, is about enabling crypto use cases that you would never see from any of the Web2 gargantuans. As a result of Frames, daily active users spiked immediately to 10,000, breaking 10,000. And then that was, I think, on Saturday of last week. And then Monday of this week, we're up above 14,500. I think it's over 15,000 daily active users on Farcaster, which makes Farcaster by far the most popular crypto application that we have. Like, daily active users, absolutely.
And David, they did it without points. They did it without big token incentives.
They have warps.
They do.
They do have warps.
But they're not gamifying it.
But I don't know if
it.
anyone's
Do you know
speculating on them like people are speculating on like Eigenlayer points.
No, I think it would be somewhat foolish to do so, actually. Like, you can buy warps inside of the app, but it's not sort of...
Oh, with money?
Yeah, with money.
With a credit card?
Yeah, with credit card, or with your ETH if that's what you want to do. But it doesn't have kind of the speculative, token mania side of things. They're not using that growth hack yet, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, if warps turned into actual like ERC20 tokens, that would be very large. That would be a big move.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not happening. Not happening for a while. Not happening. Maybe ever. Not happening at least for a while.
Dan and the co-founders of they're taking the slow, steady route, and like they're getting it right. And
for sure,
I respect that.
If you enjoyed all of that, then you'll absolutely love the Bankless newsletter. Join over 300,000 fellow readers, all for free. Click below to sign up.